Hey guys, in today's Munch lesson, we're going to be discussing ratios, which is what I call the basic fundamentals of nutrition. So for this, we're going to be discussing calories, macronutrients, and portion sizing. If you understand these, then you can understand the basic balance of food that you need to eat per day. So what we'll start off with is an understanding of calories. So a lot of people tend to go away from calories because there's a bit of a bad stigma around them. But at their basis, they are just a unit of energy that is a really good way to calculate or figure out what you're eating per day. So calories are necessary to survive. You need to eat enough of them to make sure you have enough energy for training and enough energy for your hormones and your hormonal control. But you also do not want to overeat because obviously that means you'll gain body fat. So we need to find a calculation for our calories. The other thing you need to know about in regards to the basics of nutrition is macronutrients. So macronutrients are what makes up your food. So you have protein, which is good for muscle development and growth, for cellular renewal, for tissue repair and your enzyme function in your body. You've got fats, which are good for hormonal regulation, for insulation and for the health of your skin, hair and nails. And you've got carbohydrates, which are great for energy. They're often full of fiber and help with you with nutrients. These are all necessary in your body. A lot of diets tend to cut one or the other out, but you need all of them to make sure your body functions correctly, happily, and can have a balanced diet. So to figure out your calories and macronutrients, to begin, we've got a calculation attached to this document that you need to go through. I like to start off by figuring it out because then at least you know how much you should be eating per day for your goal. Another thing we need to discuss is micronutrients, water and fiber. I'll go into a little bit more detail in our quality versus quantity talk, but you need to know from the beginning that you have to be drinking enough fluids. So we recommend a minimum of 2 litres of water per day or 8 glasses. You need to be choosing high quality food. High quality micronutrient rich food and fiber rich foods. So generally if something is a whole food, so it came from the earth or it's as close to its original source as possible, it is a whole food. This will have a better micronutrient and fiber ratio than something that is processed. So as a general rule, try and choose these foods for your micronutrient ratios and make sure you're drinking enough water. Again, I'll go into this in a little bit more detail in the quality versus quantity talk. Now, when it comes to tracking and understanding of food, there are 2 options I'm using for this program. So you can either have the option of writing in your food diary, which you may have seen already, which is going to be based off of basic portion sizing, which I'll discuss in a second. Or you can use an application called MyFitnessPal, which goes into detail with your calculation of your macros and your calories. So you can choose that in a minute after I've discussed a little bit more about portion sizing. So once you've understood that you need protein, carbs and fats, an easy way to go out and have a balanced meal is using your hand. So your hand is actually in a good portion to the ratios that we require at each meal of each of the macronutrients. So protein is 4 calories per gram, and you need about a palm of it at each of your meals. Carbohydrate is also 4 calories per gram, and you need about half a cupped hand at your meal. Fats are 9 calories per gram, and you need about a thumb of them. Because they're more calorific and dense, you'll need slightly less at your meal. And then I always add a fist of veggies because they are full of micronutrients, fiber, and vitamins and minerals that you need. And you need to be pushing as many whole food, beautiful, natural vegetables into your diet as well. So if you think of that as a balanced meal, for maintenance, 4 of those equals about a maintenance day for an average female. If you're in fat loss, you might have 3 meals and a small snack. Or if you're in muscle gain or strength gain, you might have 5 meals. Or again, for the 4 meal thing, you can also have 3 main meals and 2 snacks. That is also going to count. So if you're going off of the portion sizing, then you can just use your food diary that's in your book and use your hand. If you're using MyFitnessPal, download it onto your phone. But when you're tracking your daily calories and macros, you can be quite flexible. You also want to use the diary to input your daily calories. If you do that, you can still look back and reflect on how you've been going and if you've been hitting your goals. Hope that helps a bit, guys, so you learn a little bit more about the basics of food. We'll go into more detail as the weeks go on.